What's going on, everybody? It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst. Oh my God. And we have an amazing crew to join us today for the Awesome Sauce Show. And it is Adam the Goat, who's taking a break from the petting zoo. Mr.
Always taking a break from the petting zoo
for your money.
Woo! Hello, everybody.
And Rick, Pink Cup Rick from Hamilton Sports Central.
Let's go.
Glad you got that reference.
Now, for anyone who is watching us right now, we have a poll out there. And the poll is, what is the craziest trade? What was the craziest trade in the last week in the NHL? Tkachuk to Panthers, Kyrou to Capitals, Eklund to the Senators, or Nemec to the Flames? Holy crap, Buffalo is going to be good. They lost Byram, but the fourth overall pick, absolutely spot up. Crazy move by the Buffalo Sabres today.
Yeah, but that doesn't help them now. The fourth won't help them.
Never know. It depends on what you get at 4.
Well, no, because if Cameron Reed's at 4 and they pick Cameron Reed's going, I'm pretty sure he just committed to Michigan. He's going to Michigan next year. He's not going to the NHL next year. Carson Karls is going to North Dakota. Verhoff's going back to North Dakota as far as I'm aware. He probably is. Like, outside of the top 2 guys, because Gavin McKenna's not going back to Penn next year. Outside of those guys, inside the top, the guy's projected to go into the top 4. Malhotra's projected to be up there, but if he's going to be picked in the top 4, it's going to be by Vancouver. If Reed is there, Reed is not going into the NHL next year because he's already committed to go to college. Same thing with all the other 2 defense, the other 2 high end.
I love the Capitals.
The other 2 projected to potentially go top 4. Like Albert Schmitz is probably staying in Europe for another year. Like of the defensemen at least. Not like most of those guys are probably not going to be in the NHL next year. And that's because they're either going NCAA route or staying in Europe. Like Stenberg's probably coming over. All the other forwards are probably either staying where they are or going into the AHL, but none of them are 19. So it's
none of them have. So if you're in college, you don't have to be 19.
No, but Rick, what I'm saying is they're not 19 yet, so they can't play in the AHL.
Again, they don't have to be 19. You only have to be 19 if you play in the CHL.
McKenna is the only one in the top 4 outside of Carl. Carl's hasn't gone yet. But Verhoff and McKenna are the 2 in the top 5 that have both gone to college. They played games in college that would be eligible to go to the AHL. McKenna's probably not playing the AHL. And and Verhoff might be going back to North Dakota.
All I'm saying is by the law of the CBA, the only ones that can't go to the AHL right now is if you're 18 and you're not a first-round draft pick.
Stenberg can go to the NHL as well.
Yeah, Europe or college players can go to the NHL. My question to you is, Jacob, this Calgary trade, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Vegas's pick is top protected. Colorado's first 2028 is top protected. If those are top 10, what picks do they get? New Jersey's picks then?
Yes, I believe so.
I'm assuming so.
I believe so, yes. And just to break down to everyone the crazy trades have happened in the NHL today, here they are. So we have, not today, but pre-draft, we have Brady Tkachuk to the Panthers, Jordan Kyrou to the Capitals, William Eklund to the Senators, Nemec to the Flames, Byram to the Blackhawks. I personally absolutely love this Nemec trade to the Flames. I think this is the exact kind of move the Calgary Flames are looking.
Glad I'm not the only one.
I think this is perfect. Nemec is a really good player. He's still young.
Boring.
It's not boring, Dan. He's a great player.
So the thing with Nemec is, and I love this for Calgary on the basis that I know a lot of people are very high on. Oh my God, what's his name? Bruce. I cannot pronounce his last name. He's the other defenseman they've drafted. I don't remember his name. I can't pronounce his last name. He plays in the CHL. He plays in The OHL, I think it is.
Weird teams are hullabaloo.
That guy.
Bruchnevich or whatever it is. He played for London at one point.
Alex.
But
I agree.
the other defenseman, so because apparently a lot of people are high on him. I don't know how good he's going to be offensively, and I don't know how good he's going to be there. But now there's no pressure on playing Zane Parekh on the top power play if you don't want to. I feel like Calgary will play him there, but you have Nemec, who was never used on the power play one, and you have a guy. Well, now there's no pressure to really play Zane Parekh on the top, that top pairing. You don't have to, but you can if you want to, because Nemec can do that. Now, he hasn't played a lot. He didn't play a lot of minutes in New Jersey because of Luke Hughes.
I love that.
And because, of course, Luke Hughes was fed to playing a lot of minutes because of who his brother is. But this trade makes him for a defenseman. Dan, why are you interrupting me? You're just talking. You're talking over me.
Reading the comments.
A little bit rude. No, I'm joking, Dan. But, like, now you got two young defensemen. Both play on the same side, though, so that would be a little bit interesting. But I like this because it takes a lot of pressure off of Zane Parech's shoulders, I feel like, if they don't want to put too much on him. You have Simon Nemec there who can play heavier minutes if you need him to, and take a little bit less pressure off of Zane Parekh heading into his full rookie season. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there in Calgary. This really Calgary team is dangerous. Here
from Alex, and obviously we appreciate all the comments you're getting right now. I'll put the trade back. I'll put the trades back up in a bit. But the Team USA group chat from the Olympic needs a docu-series in a decade of open tampering.
Really?
I want to say something about this.
I gotta agree.
I want to say something because I feel like I think this has been blown out of proportion a little bit. Because a lot of people say, well, it's got to be tampering, but you also, when you think about it, let's go through the players that have left. Quinn Hughes played on a shit Vancouver team. Vancouver never really did anything while he's there. Zach Rosinski Columbus hasn't done anything since he's arrived outside of 2019 run when they swept Tampa Bay and then got knocked out with ease in the second round. Like, they haven't done anything either. Brady Tkachuk, Ottawa's won what? No rounds. They won no rounds with Brady Tkachuk there. They haven't done anything.
Whose fault is that? These players.
Oh, no, it's not. Dan, let me finish with what I'm trying to say.
Sir.
Is that they are not leaving because they are being tampered with necessarily. It's because their teams are shit. It's because their teams are shit and they haven't done anything. You can blame the group chat, but Dan, what I'm trying to say is you can blame the group chat all you want and say there's tampering. I'm not saying that it wasn't any done. Brady and Matthew have been tampering with each other since their start of their careers because they're brothers.
Well, since they were born.
But you could also, there's two things can be true at the same time. Their teams are shit. All of the guys who have left are all on shit teams. So of course they're going to leave.
Because they played like six over teams.
But Dan, you can't just blame one thing and say, oh yeah, there's a conspiracy for all American-born players to leave Canadian teams. No, because look at Montreal. Now, of course, they're part of the group chat, but you can't just say it's because they're being tampered with. It's also because their teams are shit. Their teams are shit. Zach Rosinski and Dylan Larkin aren't on Canadian teams either.
I know.
You're being called out.
They've been tampered with. It's because Larkin has played in five playoff games in his career. He's played in 6 Olympic games. Six games. It's because their teams are shit. That's all I'm saying. It can't be. You can't just blame one thing when.
No, but I want to answer this comment from Anthony because it's a very good comment. I mean, I wasn't even going to talk about this at the beginning, but here we are. I'm not saying it's all Brady Tkachuk's fault, but when you think about it, he was the captain. They gave him the responsibility. When you're the captain, you are given responsibility to do something for your franchise. And yeah, I know it comes down to the players that are drafted by him and different things, but it wasn't like Ottawa was just a bunch of nobodies. They drafted Tim Stutzla. They signed Claude Giroux as a free agent. They got Omar as a goalie. They got really good pieces to play with them. Okay, and Columbus, you have a case of Columbus. Columbus didn't have much to work with. But Ottawa, he had a lot of great pieces to work with. And same with Quinn Hughes. I know Vancouver fell apart, but when you look on paper of like Miller and Pettersson and list goes on and on and on, they had good pieces. So it's like, I don't think it's a conspiracy of American players want to be traded out of Canadian markets because, like, you know, Darryl Lock in Detroit is American market, Columbus American market with Szynski. But I do think it stands the questions, not all of them, but by committee, do American players have what it takes to be the leader and stay with the tough times?
Dan,
that's the $1 million question.
Dan, that's
hold
so
on,
stupid.
but there are so many American players who have been captains and have Stanley Cups. But I'm actually going to go to Alex's comment here, and this is more how I feel. But Brady was terrible. Who set the tone and fight in the opposing building against a 37-year-old and loses the fight.
Yeah, literally.
These things have some team building issue, but he 100% underperformed, and that's how I feel about Brady Tkachuk personally. I will say this, and I have the hot take about Brady Tkachuk. I feel the Florida Panthers extremely overpaid for Brady Tkachuk.
They did overpay for him.
And now if you're Ottawa, and I'm seeing some of the comments happy about it, you just went out and got William Eklund, who's going to be a legitimate, very high-end player for you. By the way, the San Jose Sharks are in on the Morgan Riley sweepstakes, so let's see what they move for him too. San Jose's making moves.
I have a question, but this is to Lane because Lane brought it up.
Very aggressive from Shane.
Where did you see that Riley waived his no move?
It's on TSN.
It's on TSN. It's on TML updates. It's all over the place now.
Okay. I'm
just saying as of 45 minutes ago.
Jeez Louise. I know there was rumored that he handed in a 14 list, but that was like 2 weeks ago. So TSN is pretty bad.
I agree. Ottawa.
They didn't.
I mean, it's a good trade for Florida too.
I don't believe anything until a trade's done. I'm not going to believe anything until the trade's done at the end.
And we have Babcock back today. No one's even talking about it.
Yeah, literally.
Who cares? That's old news.
This has just been. By the way, so at our poll, and yeah, Anthony, I will get to your comment on Rodriguez and Verhaeghe because I think it's a great conversation to have. But on our poll currently, we have what is the craziest trade in the last week in the NHL, and it's really tight. Right now, by our poll, so 29% of our viewers, if you haven't voted yet, go vote in the poll, saying Brady Tkachuk to the Panthers. Another 29% is saying Jordan Kyrou Capitals. Nobody thinks it's crazy that William Eklund is an Ottawa Senator, which I love the trade for Ottawa.
Okay, wait.
And 43% of our viewers think that the Nemec trade is the craziest trade we have seen in the last week. Look, Dan, it's not okay. I really want to get back to this Nemec trade. Because I think this is the sleeper trade of the day. This guy had 26 points in 68 games as a defenseman on an absolute terrible team. He can run your top power play, a right-handed shot defenseman who's only 22 years old. This is exactly the type of player Calgary wants. And I also wanted to read you guys a progression. So in 23, 24, and 66 games, he had 3 goals, 16 assists for 19 points. Then fortunately, 24, 25, he hardly played. But then in 25, 26, he had 11 goals, 15 assists for 26 points in 68 games. There's a nice, healthy progression. Yeah. This is a young defenseman who I think is really going to add stability to the back end. And as Adam said, it's taking a lot of pressure off Zane Parekh, who I personally don't think is quite ready to be the number one offensive defenseman in the NHL yet. So by bringing in a guy like Nemec, it's taking the pressure off. It's giving you a chance to bring in a young, talented defenseman. And truthfully, if you're Calgary, you didn't have to give up a heck of a lot to get him. I think this trade's an absolute slam dunk if you're the Calgary Flames. This is exactly what you wanted to do to build for the future, but still be better now. And with losing Rasmus Anderson, you needed to bring someone else in. This is a really smart trade by the Calgary Flames. I absolutely love it.
I also want to point out all of the 26 points he had this year. He had 2 power play points because he barely plays on the power play because Luke Hughes has number 1 power play time. Now he had 1940 of total ice time, but he doesn't play. He doesn't play on the top line. Doesn't play on the number 1 D pairing, and he does not play number 1 power play minutes. He has been hindered by New Jersey a ton because of Luke Hughes and because they have something wrong. Like they have a thing with Luke Hughes, but I like the Byram trade as well for Chicago Mostly because I think Chicago needed somebody that's really good offensively. Like, not because they don't have anybody good offensively on the back end, but they needed a good, like, I cannot pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try it. Their young defenseman. He struggled with his plus minus, but that's mostly because the team is shit in Chicago, to be fair, outside of Connor Bedard. I would have preferred, if they were going to trade the 4th overall pick like they did, I would have said they should have gone out and got a forward to play with Bedard. Apparently, they were in on Matty Nyes, but apparently the Leafs asked for the 4th and Frondell and would not budge on wanting both. And Chicago didn't want to give up Frondell. Fair enough, Frondell looks like he's going to be nasty. So if I would say play Frondell with Bedard. Like there you go. There's the pairing right there. But I don't think Chicago's done yet. They don't have a first this year, but I do not think they're done in terms of trying to acquire people. Hopefully.
Lane is resting his voice today as he has to work tomorrow. I see a comment asking where Lane is. We got a Lane fan in the chat. I would say for the Panthers, look, I think unfortunately you're going to have to move on from Rodriguez and or Verhaeghe, just because with bringing in Brady Tkachuk, who I think is one of the most overpaid, quote unquote, 100-point guy that has never hit 100 points. And look, you're going to have to move on from these guys. And I think there are going to be a lot of, I wonder if these two are the draft day trade, the big draft day trade that's coming.
Call me
crazy. It will be a decent prospect.
Call me crazy.
Sorry.
But I also like this trade for Florida. I think Brady Tkachuk is a great piece of Florida. Like, you think about it, you have the Tkachuk lovers playing on a top line with probably I would put the actually no. I think I would pick the Tkachuk lovers with Sam Bennett. That is one mean second or third line, because I guess you have Monsanto and Barkov as your top line with someone like, I don't know. Florida's like, I know they gave up a lot for him, and I'm surprised they gave up so much for him when he was only willing to go one team realistically. But I think it could be a missing piece to be Florida, the Stanley Cup winning team again. I do like
Montembeault to the Florida Panthers. That's interesting because I don't think Bobrovsky's staying. And
why would Florida want?
I've actually been hearing Montreal is going to keep Montembeault because they're seeing more and more teams are using a 3-goalie system. Key, I will get to your question about the Edmonton outs, but actually,
I heard Florida's in on Binnington.
Yeah, Binghamton would be a great fit in Florida. But, Rick, you've been sitting there quietly, soaking it in. Out of these trades today, what's the trade that you were just like, I can't believe this just happened?
I was just looking at this Calgary trade, like future picks. So the second that they got from New Jersey, or that New Jersey got, that's the 3rd pick in the 2nd round. Then I was just looking at, like, next year's potential draft class to see, like, who's potentially going where. I haven't looked at 2008 yet, but it's crazy of how, like, even with the Tkachuk trade, of like how many picks people are already trading in the future.
Yeah.
Like, there's even some people earlier, like on radio stations, like the kid that you're drafting in 2030 is at school enjoying a recess.
Yeah, really.
Like they're at school playing wall ball.
Yeah.
And here we are, we're talking about trading for like what? Grade 10s or grade 8s? That's right.
That's a good point. I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, you know what? It's very true for Buffalo. Bowen Byram didn't want to be there. You now have a top 5 pick, plus you won your division last year.
Buffalo's good move for Buffalo too.
And I think Buffalo, the great thing for Buffalo is there too. They're a good enough team that I think they can draft a top end player now and not worry if he's not going to make your team better for another 2 to 3 years, right? And
I think Buffalo will make the playoffs again this year. I really do. I don't think it's a one-time fluke. I gotta say, the trade I'm most excited about is my Capitals with getting Kai Wu. I really love this trade. It kind of reminds me of the TJ Oshie trade, getting a playmaker winner from St. Louis. And call me crazy. Everyone's been asking about Ovechkin.
Crazy.
I think this is proof that Ovechkin's coming back for another 2 years. Because now you got a skilled playmaking winger to play with him. And then you have Stone as the center. I really like this trade.
Jordan Kyrou last year in 72 games, 18 goals, 28 assists for 46 points and a -5. He was on a very bad St. Louis team, though. But you know what? You look more, and I like to go by trends. And if you go from the 21-22 season to the 24-25 season, this guy was low 60s to mid 70s every year in points. I think Jordan Kyrou rocking on Ovechkin's line is potentially going to really help. Or, as we're seeing in the comments here, Ovechkin is done. That's why Washington made the trade. Washington's trying to bring someone else in to bring in that offense. There's two ways to look at that trade, right? True. But, Dan, I do agree with you, though. Jordan Kyrou could be a great fit for the Washington Capitals, and this definitely tells me the St. Louis Blues are blowing up. They're going to be...
I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Rick.
So this is kind of like a draft day trade type thing. Now, hear me out. San Jose goes and gives up 2 and 27 to move down 2 spots. What do they have? For 4 and 20. Wow. That's not that much of difference. You move up 5 spots in the late first round, but then you move down 2 spots and you still kind of get the same player outside of Stenberg.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, besides the top 2, I've read the middle part of the high is very similar. There's just a lot of really good talent that's not quite there yet. So there's been a lot of really smart trades on this day in hockey. And I will say this, I don't think we're done. I think there's still a lot more movement coming. And I want to address a comment that Dan made off camera saying, why haven't the Leafs done anything yet? And it's look, the Leafs are the one that started all this snowballing by getting Darren Radish. Once that Darren Radish move was done, you felt like that was the snowball effect. And I give John Checha credit. He didn't wait until everyone else started making moves. He went out there and made the move first. You look now what teams just paid to bring in a Bowen Byram. I feel even better now about the Darren Radish move if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, right? So
true. I also want
day. And I mean, we haven't even gotten into some of the crazy stuff in the CFL that's happened yet. It's just been an absolute crazy day today.
I wanted to say quickly too, just on the Kyrou trade. I like the fact that they got him, but I think St. Louis got a great player, Connor McMichael. I am a Washington Capitals fan, whether people think that's good or bad, I am. And I've watched a few games, and Connor McMichael plays very good every shift. I think he had a little bit of a down year last year, a little bit, but he was very good the year before that. He was an original draft from Washington. It's sad we had to give up McMichael, but that McMichael is a really good piece of St. Louis. I think it was a fair hockey trade because Washington got someone a little more polished, but McMichael is going to grow to be a 60, 70-point guy, no problem.
Crazy here. I've read this too about Robertson rejecting a $12 million contract in Dallas. Now I'm going to say
14.
Maybe for Jason Robertson, clearing $12 million or $8 million didn't really matter to him. Maybe he wants to go somewhere where he thinks they can actually get past the second round.
Wait,
right?
I'm sorry.
No, but honestly, everyone makes fun of the Leafs. The Dallas Stars are the Western Toronto Maple Leafs.
Ooh.
They are. They're a team that can Dan, prove it to me how I'm factually wrong. They're a team that cannot get over the hump. The Carolina Hurricanes were that other team, and now they've done it. Colorado, besides of their one cup, you could almost make that argument the same way.
No offense, Rick, but Minnesota might be that as well because Minnesota have won one first-round series in the last decade.
Robertson, Tampa.
Maybe it's not fair, but it is what it is. Cool. But Dallas, but Jacob, I don't think it's because of Dallas. I think it's more so because Robertson just wants to get paid. And to be honest, this was always coming. Everybody knew this was coming because everybody knew all the way back when the Rantanen trade was made that Dallas had a decision to make. It was Mikko or it was Jason Robertson. Mikko's money was Jason Robertson's money. Everybody knew that. I don't know why anybody's surprised that Jason Robertson's not staying in Dallas. Put your hand, why is anybody surprised with this at all? It has nothing to do with Dallas's playoff woes. It has everything to do with the fact that Dallas paid Mikko instead of paying Jason. That's what happened. And
Jason,
Dallas had just made 2 Western Conference Finals in the last 5 years. Like, yeah, they haven't won them, but they made 2 Western Conference Finals.
Why not pay both of them $12 million? The cap's going
because
up.
They can't afford it. Because they don't have the cap room, Dan. They don't have the cap room to do it.
And what's
they have
tough,
to
especially if you're Dallas
too.
now, you're potentially losing Jason Robertson to gain Mikko Rantanen, and then looking how Logan Stankoven could have won a Conn Smythe this year. That's a tough pill to swallow if you're a Dallas Stars fan like that. And this can be the issue sometimes when you take the big swing. But I do want to go back to a comment from Anthony, which was an interesting comment here. A lot of great comments here. They were saying, like, general managers from Florida and Vegas created a new trend where teams are competing, don't care about draft picks. And I mean, yeah, I think that's a fair statement. But
100%.
The only problem with that is if you don't win, you're like Toronto, where you have no draft capital, your team's garbage because you
won the AHL championship.
Rick, how many times have you and I talked about that in the CFL, for example, when a team tries to just buy an offensive line? It doesn't always work.
I mean, it's kind of working now for Edmonton. That's only because they bought 4 out of 5 of our players.
Yeah.
But it's like Edmonton spent what? Over 300,000.
Pittsburgh.
I could see Pittsburgh
on like a defense that was garbage for like a few years, and now they're finally getting their crap together.
Never understood the Robertson thing. Get rid of someone and sign him. He's a freak of a hockey player.
He is a player.
I will say this. I would absolutely love to see. You know what? Florida can have the Kachuk brothers. Toronto, let's bring the Robertson brothers home.
I was going to say the exact same thing. We got the wrong Blovers, but hey, at least we got Blovers.
So, Jacob, I don't know if you know this. So, Anaheim, Colorado, Dallas, Detroit, Edmonton, Florida, Minnesota, Tampa, and Vegas do not have a first-round draft pick.
Wow, that's a lot.
And to be honest, if those teams can compete, they don't care, right? And I do agree with that comment from Anthony that teams like Florida and Vegas have started a bit of a new trend that you're not worried about, about the picks as long as you can compete. I just say the problem is then if you don't compete, then you're kind of screwed, right?
It's kind of like playing Dynasty more than NHL EA hockey, right?
The difference
is all the picks win the first year.
The difference is you can't just restart. You can't just delete your franchise and restart.
That's right, yeah.
By the way, for our poll now, we have Kachuk and Nemec as a tie for the craziest trades in the last week.
Wait, so
high five, Adam.
I have something I want to, because I just came across, I was just reading something. And so I have seen so far, just looking through, and I've seen for Hollabaugh, I've seen so far Utah.
Ooh.
Because Utah I don't know if Utah need a goalie, but hey, Connor Hollabaugh is a hell of a goalie, and with better I think with not a better team, but I think better offense maybe, and a little bit better defense. I think Connor Hollabaugh has proved he can win. There's no arguing that Connor Hollabaugh can't win. He just won Olympic gold while dominating the crease for the United States. I don't think there's any more argument. Connor Hollabaugh can win. Like, I don't think there's much of an argument there. I've seen the Leafs, but I doubt the Leafs don't have the assets to get him unless we use Matty Nyes. Yeah, those are two. Well, and of course, rumors Florida's in on him, but I doubt Florida's going to actually have any assets to acquire him.
That could be Rodriguez and Verhaeghe. That could be Rodriguez and Verhaeghe, though, going to Winnipeg. Winnipeg is desperate need of secondary scoring, right? I'm just saying, right? I think Florida is the type of team I think that would pull the trigger on a bit of a crazy trade like that. So I think the craziest thing is I don't think we're done. I still think there are more trades coming. I think teams like Vegas is still going to make some more moves. I think Toronto's
going to make another move.
Look, say what I don't care what Chich is saying. I still wouldn't be completely shocked if the Leafs trade the first overall pick, depending on if they get offered the right piece. I could still see that move happening. So
say too, I saw Key's comment about the Ottawa trade. I really like McLeod to Ottawa, and I think this trade is going to work better for them. Because don't forget, Ottawa made a trade with San Jose in the past couple of years ago with Severin. Yeah, I know that's another thing I'll talk about too. With Severin, in my opinion, hasn't really worked out in Ottawa. But I think McLeod's going to work really nice in Ottawa. I get he's not quite a Brady Tkachuk replacement, but it's a very good, skilled young piece that probably wants to stay in Ottawa. Good night, Key.
Well, we don't know that. We won't know.
Oh yes, I'm sorry, Key. I didn't get to your
after the call
quickly. Then, since you're heading off, I think Austin Mack and Cody Fajardo, I think you're just seeing the beginning of the connection getting going. Edmonton has been in 2 rainy games, and they're 2-0 with Austin Mack having touchdowns in both games. That connection's due for a 100-plus yard game soon. I'm calling it. The Edmonton Elks are back, and the name curse is going to end this season. Maybe not with a Grey Cup, but with a really strong season and playoff run for the Edmonton
playoff spot for sure.
Oh, you're not trading Barkov. No way in hell.
No, you can't trade him.
Oh, that's brutal.
I don't see that happening. I think Barkov is a generational player. Adam, can you explain that line of thinking? Enough people say that doesn't matter. Just because you want to win an Olympic gold for your team, you don't win it standing up. You're a What's your thoughts about the Olympic being compared to the Stanley Cup?
He won, but the way I think about it, I think, is that the Olympics is harder than the Stanley Cup playoffs. I think the Stanley Cup playoffs is probably the hardest league trophy to win because of how grueling it is. The Olympics is 7 games or 5 games, whatever how many games they play. 5 or 7 games, whatever it was. You got to win 7 games, 6 or 7 games basically to win the Olympic gold medal. He had mind you, and even in the 4 nations, we don't even talk about how good he was in the 4 nations. He lost the final, but he had a 159 and a 932. He had a 118 goals against average with a 956 save percentage. The Olympics is a lot harder. It's a lot harder to win because you're playing some of the best players on the planet, all in one team. And he was amazing in every game he played. I am not going to say he's been bad in the playoffs, yeah, but he won the Olympic gold medal by being dominant. Why can't he win in the playoffs? There's no excuse for the guy anymore. Mm-hmm. He showed how good he can be.
Yeah,
it's a short tournament. I feel like given it's a short tournament, it's harder for goal. If a goalie has a bad game, it's harder to turn it around. It is so much harder. If you lose one game, you are winning. You have to win every game to win. It's a shorter tournament, but that also means more pressure.
So there, the team offered the Leafs 2 first-round picks for Matthews. Honestly, I don't see Matthews going anywhere this year, and I know people think I have my blinders on, but I don't think every single American player wants to leave a Canadian market because the number one, Cole Caulfield, would have requested a trade by now, and he's not. Same with Lane Hudson. Those are 2 guys that just signed multi-year extensions in Montreal. Arguably the toughest market to play in the world. Dan is going to argue, no, it's the Maple Leafs. I would honestly argue, especially as a non-Sprint French-speaking person, it is extremely difficult to play in that Montreal market. They moved Saku Koivu out of the province, Dan. Saku Koivu who is a freaking legend.
I just want to say one thing about this comment.
Dan, this is a comment for you too. A brain that has its own thoughts.
Wow. I am shocked. Maybe I'm crazy, but I am shocked that Matthews is worth less than Brady Tkachuk. Because Brady Tkachuk got 3 first-round picks. I think Matthews is worth at least the same as Brady Tkachuk, no?
Dan, you do realize that the trade never came to fruition, so that means he isn't worth less than 3 first-round picks. The Leafs would have accepted
it. I get it. I'm just saying.
So wait, I have one other thing. I have 2 things to say.
Teams are different.
So on the person that said it's okay to disagree. So do you think the Olympics isn't hard to win? That's my first question for you. The second thing I wanted to say was that, yeah, Team USA had a good defense, but that doesn't mean anything if the goalie behind you doesn't play well. If the goalie behind you sucks, the goalie behind you, because the U.S. still gave up a decent amount of shots. It's not like the U.S. didn't. He placed 137 shots in 5 games. He faced a decent amount of shots. But that doesn't mean, like, if Hellebuyck was his old Hellebuyck, he would have given up 3 goals a game anyways. Like, because if you don't play well, if the goalie doesn't play well, what your defense does in front of you doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. Yeah, but his Olympic record speaks for itself as well.
Look, I'll say this about Hellebuyck. I think the expectations are now higher for him because he won that Olympics. He played well in the 4 Nations as well. But in that gold medal game, let's be honest, if that was any other goalie, Canada would have absolutely dummied the States in that game. We all know that. And if you don't know that, then, well, you have your American blinders on the same way you do at FIFA. But Canada should have won that game. Hellebuyck stole it. Now, as a goaltender, it can be easier to steal 1 game versus stealing a whole series. A good goalie can steal a game. A great goalie can steal a series. We haven't seen Hellebuyck steal a series yet. But at the same time, we haven't seen the Winnipeg Jets go out and get enough pieces to realistically go on a deep run. And I wouldn't mind if Winnipeg, let's say hypothetically, does trade Hellebuyck to Florida for Verhaeghe and Rodriguez. You're bringing in that secondary scoring you need. Then you just got to go get a goaltender, which isn't going to be an easy thing to do because the goalie market's a little crazy. And apparently Bobrovsky wants big money, which, I mean, he has the right to ask for because his playoff record speaks for himself. Right.
Totally.
Sergei Bobrovsky, he's the opposite of Hellebuyck. Mediocre regular season, but then when it's playoff time, he's like, okay, I become the best goalie who's ever put on a goalie pad.
Literally, yeah.
So Jacob, I want to say one thing. So we talk about Hellebuyck's record. Okay, wait, I have a question for you guys. You guys are going to predict something for me. So across Hellebuyck's first 4 playoff runs, you can just guess kind of a range for all 4 years, basically. You could just guess a range for the 4 together, basically. Where do you think Connor Hellebuyck's save percentage was those first 4 years? First 4 playoff runs. So that was 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, and 20, 21.
915.
Okay.
I'm going to guess like around between a 900 and a 905.
Okay. Rick, what do you think?
I zoned out there. Are we talking
Connor Hellebuyck, his first 4 playoff runs in the league?
Oh,
what do you think what do you think his save percentage would have been
on the Jets?
On the Jets, those first 4 years,
9-10.
Okay, you say that. Connor Hellebuyck, 17-18, 9-8 across 17 games, leading the Winnipeg Jets to nearly winning the West, mind you. Running into Golden State. He had a 922 save percentage that first year. He then went to a 913 and 18-19 in 6 games, though. 904 was the lowest of those years. He had a 931 in 2021. The team has never been good enough, but outside of the last 3 years where he's had a below 900, he has a 903 career save percentage in the playoffs. I don't think he's actually as bad as people make him out to be. I would say the last 3 years, he's actually been pretty decent in the playoffs. I say pretty decent. Doesn't mean amazing. That first year, he was very good in the playoffs. And that 4th year, he was very good in the playoffs. The rest of his team couldn't win anything. That's not really his fault. The rest of the team can't do anything.
The hiccup I find with Hellebuyck is actually very similar to Joseph Woll, in my opinion. He overall plays well, but then he allows the worst goal at the worst time to deflate the whole team. So, yeah, if you look at it by numbers, yeah, his numbers are not all that bad. His numbers are actually pretty good. But then if you watch the game and you see him give up a weird, wonky goal that gives up the lead.
Every goalie does that, Dan. This is such a stupid...
Bobrovsky doesn't do that.
But, Dan, every time you bring this up about Joseph Woll, I say the same thing. But then he goes ahead and he allows goals, but he doesn't let in the backbreaker. You bring up this stupid argument every time. And it's kind of like, but Sergei Bobrovsky is the exception, not the rule. He's the exception.
Okay, I want the exception.
Like Marc-Andre Fleury, who's one of the greatest goalies of this generation, he let in a lot of bad goals in the playoffs.
But he won.
Dan. But he let in a lot of bad goals. It's the same argument you're having with Woll and Hellebuyck here. But he gives up bad goals. So how good can he really be in the playoffs? He's won 3 times, but two of those times he wasn't even the main goalie.
True,
he didn't play in the Stanley Cup Finals the last 2 years because Murray was in net. Why is that? If he is so great in the playoffs, why is that? You see what I'm saying, though, Dan? Your argument is stupid because you can add it to any goalie. Corey Crawford gave up a lot of bad goals in the playoffs. Does that make him a terrible playoff goalie? No, he's won 3 cups.
You got to do you build momentum. Playoff games are all about building momentum, right? So it depends on when you give it up. And it's just pure bad luck. But it seems to fall with Hellebuyck is always at the worst time.
Okay, but Dan, no. Hold on. I really need to jump in on this. You comparing Joseph Woll to Connor Hellebuyck is one of the dumbest comparisons I've seen. This is up there with you saying about Sean Avery should make the Hall of Fame. Dan, how much money does Connor Hellebuyck make? Just say the number.
$9 million? I don't know.
How much does Joseph Woll make?
$4 million?
They're not comparable goalies.
I agree.
They are. So comparing them is just plain idiocy. Number 2, I'll be honest. I don't really care if Jets fans say that the reason why they haven't made it past the round is because of Connor Hellebuyck. I feel a lot of times the reason why they've made it as tight of a series as they have is because of Connor Hellebuyck. And at the end of the day, the Winnipeg Jets, name me a good player besides of Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor, and Gabe Vilardi.
On the Jets now?
Name me another good player they have.
I don't know.
Exactly! The team is not good.
I gotta say, we got
net on that team. I've said the same thing about so many other teams. Look at the teams that have won the Stanley Cup recently. What do they all have?
Depth.
They have depth coming out the wazoo. And you look at teams like Toronto. You look at teams like Winnipeg. You look at teams like Edmonton. They don't win. You look at teams like Dallas. They don't win because they don't have the depth.
We do have a new viewer.
That is the biggest reason why. And these teams can blame their goalies all they want. But until you bring in the depth, look at all those crazy runs by Florida. You could argue it was the 4th line that won it for those teams sometimes. I don't have to be polite to Dan. That's fine. We live under the same roof. I can kick down his door and wake him up. It's okay. Dan, we have a new viewer.
Yeah, so I want to say welcome, leaving 3954. Please don't leave. Don't leave. If you like having your comments on your screen, you like this live roundtable discussion, please subscribe to the channel. We're only 9 subscribers away from hitting 250. Huge milestone. We're at 241 right now. It'll be lovely to hit 250 tonight. The more subscribers we get, the more new people like you can find us in the YouTube algorithm. That builds the community. And also we have the amazing, great comments coming in all night and people liking and sharing and voting on the poll and everything. So thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate it.
By the way, this is a great point from Anthony, too. It's a question. I'm going to make it into a point. Did Hall of Fame goalie from New Jersey have a ton of bad goals through his career in critical moments? And yeah, Martin Brodeur did let in a lot of really bad goals in his career. And he is arguably one of the greatest goalies in NHL history. Patrick Waugh let in a lot of terrible goals. How about the one when he showboated picking up the puck and dancing, and it wasn't even in his damn glove? Martin Brodeur went to play the puck, dropped the stick, and went in between his legs, and the guy scored from center ice. One of the funniest things I ever watched. Yeah. Like, it's what's so tough about a goalie and a pitcher. Let's say Austin Matthews takes a shot and misses the net. Besides of not scoring, it probably didn't have that bad of effect. A goalie makes one bad read, and your whole season's over. And it is a much more pressure position that is very underpaid and underutilized. Now, mind you, you're going to make the arguments now with Carolina winning the Stanley Cup with very suspect goaltending. Everyone thought they played really well. But look, I did mention Morrissey, but Morrissey's also a very excellent player. An experienced goalie, Bob and Anderson, holding the yeah, I mean, look, those are two goalies that are very, very good and experienced. Florida had the best record 2 years ago. Dallas made the conference finals multiple times. Okay, but do you think the Dallas Stars built their team to make the conference finals? Do you honestly think that was the goal? It's like when people say to me the Leafs have been successful, they've made the playoffs all the time. You honestly think that was the goal? No, that wasn't the damn goal. I hate to say it. I'm sorry, Rick, to say this with you here, but the Minnesota Wild failed because that wasn't the goal.
I think Wick has a point to make, too.
Sorry, Dan?
I think Wick has something to say, too.
So I actually have 3 points to make.
Oh,
Yeah.
Steph Curry
One,
and this chick.
so it was reported as of an hour ago that Jarmo Kekalainen is not budgeting off of his long-term offer. So the only way that Alex Tuck will get over $10 million from another club is if he goes to open market. That's number one.
Oh.
Two, the Edmonton Oilers. This happened earlier today, but you have Mike Babcock as their head coach, DJ Smith and Paul McFarland as their coaches. The other big news that came out today was the fact that the NHL announced that they're looking at Austin and Houston as possible expansions.
Ooh,
The expansion fee was discussed at $3.5 billion, which 1.5 would go toward building the new stadium, and then the $2 billion will be shared amongst the other. What are we at? 32 owners.
Wow, interesting.
Sorry, why are we looking at expansion again? Like,
Why not?
Like, no, but Dan, let me get to what I'm trying to say. It's been what, 3 or 4 seasons since COVID, and now just this past season the cap has started to go back up. Okay, so we're looking at that. So that means the league, the players have paid back the league. The players have paid back the league escrow. They played back the league, so finally the cap can go up. After the 2 or 3 years of COVID, that was being dealt with. The cap had to stay the same. Now the cap is going up. But the way I think about it, after all the escrow play, why not let it plateau for a couple years? We're about to go to 84 games. Like, the league needs to chill out for a second and play with 32 teams for longer than 3 seasons. Seattle's been around for 3 seasons. Let's wait a little bit before we add a 33rd franchise. They just added games. They're gonna have to add more games eventually if they keep adding franchises. And it's like the league needs to just like tone it down for a second, let the league continue to grow after COVID, and then worry about expansion. You don't need to expand right now. I don't understand it.
I actually respectfully disagree with you, because as Wick pointed out, for just starting to talk about it, right? It's not like we're adding a team in Houston tomorrow. If they start talking about it now, it's going to take probably 5 to 8 years for that team to actually get onto the ice, right? So I think the fact that we're starting to make a profit after COVID, sorry, I can't say that word on YouTube, after the pandemic, it's time to actually start planning a expansion so that you're in good shape for the next 5 to 8 years.
You know what, Dan? The issue is, though, right?
You don't need expansion.
Expanding too quickly can be detrimental. And look, I'm gonna have a really hot take, and people aren't gonna like it. I don't know if there's enough skill in the NHL to keep making more teams and not have.
There isn't, Dan. The teams are already so low as it is.
For example,
there's great players in the KHL, great players in Swedish League.
Nobody's going to come over in the KHL, Dan.
Great players who never get drafted.
They're not going to jump over. They never do.
Dan, don't make me mute your mic. It's the 4th time you cut me off this evening. Yeah. Dirty blue. Anyways. But look, when you're looking at expansion, you have to be so careful because there's so many things you have to factor in. Can they be good? Can they be successful if they are not good? Are you expanding too quickly? Are you going to an area where fans are actually going to care? The issue is, do you really think people in Texas are going to care to watch a team that is going to suck? Like, for example, Seattle, it worked really well, even when the team hasn't been great, because that's a hockey market. Say what you want about Utah. That is a hockey market.
For sure,
Texas is not a hockey market. That's a I don't care what y'all there, Cowboys.
Vegas was going to have a terrible attendance. Let's be honest here. If the Vegas sucked that first year, the franchise would have been done in 10 years. It would have been dead in the water. It would have been dead in the water right away. Right? Which is why they rigged the draft.
Seattle had plumbers team like the Cats when they joined the league.
Ooh. I don't know if
Brian Smith is a hockey guy. Yeah, he is.
I don't know if Adam knows this from watching the draft earlier today.
Rocks.
History was made in the NBA today, and the first Mexican was drafted in the NBA tonight.
I don't draft. Wow. I don't watch the NBA draft.
Interesting. What team drafted him?
It was the Pistons at number 21.
Interesting.
21.
You're stupid.
But no, it's just, Dan, the big issue I have with Europe just wanting to expand all the time. It's kind of like when everyone yells that the CFO needs to expand right now. And I keep saying, no, you have to wait until the foundation is there. I agree. I think if you keep building more teams, you're probably going to have to put in a 90-game regular season. Now the NHL is taking way too damn long. I'll be honest, I find the NHL season exhausting by the time the playoffs are done.
So, Dan,
like, it's just difficult to justify expansion when we have so many teams in the NHL that's not even succeeding right now. I think relocating over expanding might be the way to go with some teams that are having terrible attendance.
So, Dan, I have a question for you.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
look this up. Just give me a guess. When is the last time you think the NBA expanded?
League should reduce the number of teams by 6.
Cool. The NBA.
Just give me a guess. The NBA. When do you think the last time the NBA expanded?
2010.
Not relocated a team.
2010.
I'm gonna take a stab at this. And no. I was gonna say Bobcats, but then Bobcats left. And then they brought back the Hornets.
We will talk about this.
Yeah, but I don't think that was technically expansion.
Okay, that's why I was just asking, like, what you're.
I don't think that was.
If you're talking expansion, it would have had to have been. It would have had to have been Bobcats. If you're talking expansion.
Okay, Jacob, you want to guess? Oh, Jacob's gone away.
I'm gonna say the last time they expanded was the Vancouver Grizzlies.
So that's the Raptors and the Grizzlies then, Jacob, because they came in at the same time. So I believe the last time the NBA expanded, if I'm not mistaken, is like the 2000s. I don't think they've expanded since the 2000s. If I'm being completely honest with you, I don't think they have. I'm looking at it now. It was 2004. 2004 was the last time the team expanded. That was to Charlotte, who then became the Hornets, of course. So it has been 22 years. So Dan, I'm going to ask you another question, but you or Jacob might know better than me. I'm going to look it up before I even ask you, actually. So give me a second. I'm going to look up so I can see.
We got a great comment in the chat.
But when is the last time the NFL expanded? Do you know when the last time the NFL expanded?
NFL expanded?
Yeah.
I want to say 2000 when the Houston Texans came in.
Yeah, I was going to say 2004.
So I believe it was like 2000. It was 2002, I think, with the Texans.
Okay, so if you guys want to expand the NHL, go buy NHL video game. You can expand the teams there, and you'll have.
So my point being, by bringing this up to you, Dan, is that the two biggest leagues in North America, in terms of the U.S., let's say, the last two of those big ones, the MLB hasn't expanded in a very long time as well. The MLB hasn't expanded in a while as well. Why does the NHL have to expand when the NBA hasn't expanded in 22 years? And the NBA is more popular than the NHL in the United States.
That's exactly why. You're answering.
I'm not answering, though, Dan, because
you are.
The expansion, if the other three big leagues don't have to expand, why does the NHL have to expand?
Because the NHL wants to catch up to the big three. Same with the CFL. Why does the CFL need to expand? It's going to leave CFL in 9 teams?
Dan, the CFL is a completely different situation, 9 versus 32.
The NHL doesn't need expansion. The NHL makes enough money as it is. They don't need to my point.
I never heard of a business content for making enough money. Everyone wants to make more money.
Dan, my point is that expansion is not needed. I don't give a crap about the money because honestly, the NHL,
NHL does.
They don't need. But Dan, let me finish. Stop interrupting me about the stupid money. I've said it 5 times. I don't care about the money. I do not care what the NHL is going to make in the money. Expansion is not needed because there is not enough talent in the league right now as currently done. It is not worth it to expand because the dilute of talent on every team is already so little. Vancouver and Chicago are miles below everybody else. Those two teams absolutely
have horrible general managers.
But Dan, let me finish. They absolutely suck. They suck. Dan, Jacob, because I know Dan's going to do it again. Mute Dan for me, please, until I am done talking. But those two teams suck so much that even if they expand, let's say they expand again in 10 years, the league, the dilution of the league is going to be even worse. I don't care how long down the far road it is. It's going to get even worse. And it's like, at this point, it's not worth it right now because the league already has 32 teams. 32 teams is way too many teams as it is in the NHL. I don't even think they need 32 teams. I think the expansion to Vegas and Seattle was not needed, especially knowing what we know now. Like I get it. I get the Vegas one, but if those two teams sucked, the NHL will look beyond stupid at them. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I still think Vegas is stupid, but money. It's always about money. But at the end of the day, Bettman needs to get his head out of his ass and stop bloody expanding so much. Because at the end of the day, he's going to ruin the product that he's trying to build. That he's apparently trying to build. He's going to end up ruining it. That's all they're doing is just ruining the product at the end of the day.
And Dan, the issue is you can make more money without expanding in the NHL. Right. And that's the big thing that you're not really thinking about is you're looking at it at expansion equals money. So I'm going to ask you something, Dan. How many cars does Mercedes make? How many different cars do they make?
Oh, a lot. Like
make a guess.
20 different models.
20. So why don't they make 106? More cars.
Well, they are putting more models.
No, Dan, you're telling me expansion equals more money no matter what. So if I'm Mercedes, I'm going to make 700 different models tomorrow because that will make me more money, right? No, it won't. You need better marketing. You need things that people actually want. You need to sell it to the right customer. The biggest issue in the NHL, and I'm going to say it, is marketing. The NHL markets as when the NFL isn't on, watch us. They're not putting the viewer in the center. They're putting the product in the center and making the viewer come to the product. Instead, they should be putting the viewer in the center of their marketing and then making everyone want to watch the product. The NHL, if anything, they should have less teams, better teams, and more exciting games. Who the hell wants to watch Ottawa versus Chicago if you're just a hockey fan in general? They're two bad teams who can barely play hockey because newsflash, there's not enough good players. The CFL has the opposite problem where there are so many good players not getting enough time and enough exposure because there's not enough teams. The NHL is a very different problem. They barely have enough talent to support 32 teams because the gap between the best teams and the worst teams are astronomical. Holy moly, we have a lot of comments coming in. So we got to get to these.
Paul Davis and Ottawa and Chicago fan.
Look at Bettman and the Coyotes, 60 scoop for Winnipeg, 400 million in 20 years, 25 billion, shared by the owners, HLPL escrow, looking to cook the books. Yet, Dan, it was a total disaster. Now, Ryan Smith fixed this total disaster because he loves hockey. The Leafs Hawks have more dedicated. I just picked two random teams in my head. Isn't expansion over $3 billion? Yeah, expansion's a lot of money.
That doesn't fix the league's issues, though. And it only fixes Bettman's issues.
That is true. Mercedes and Chrysler.
Like, but that was a great card. That's as I was spelled on SLK.
NHL Rockets, we need net worth 2.0. Me?
He wants to watch Chicago and Ottawa.
No, Dan, look, I understand that, but and I understand for the core fan base, but I think the NFL, there's a reason why they haven't expanded anymore either, because there's too many teams in the NFL that are unwatchable. And there are teams in the NHL right now that are unwatchable.
The teams in the NBA are unwatchable, and they're probably going to expand in a couple years, which I think is beyond
expanding by 29-30.
It's stupid. The NBA doesn't have enough. There are so many teams at the bottom of the NBA that absolutely freaking suck, and they're still trying to figure out
90 million,
how to stop tanking. When there's obvious things you can do to stop tanking, they still haven't figured out how to fix tanking. And guess what? When that new franchise comes in, it's going to get even worse because the talent is not there. They don't have enough talent because nobody's coming over from Europe to come and play in the NBA because they make a lot of money in Europe. What's the point? It's the same thing, Dan. You brought up the KHL, but when you look at it, the KHL prevents a lot of their young talent from coming over by extending them on massive contracts. Mitchkov only came over because his contract got bought out.
Yikes.
By a miracle of God, he got his contract bought out by the KHL and was allowed to come over. He could have came over when he was 26. Like, that doesn't help anything when KHL talent is taking way too long to come over because they don't let anybody come over. An expansion is not going to help that. Like, expansion's not going to make the KHL be like, oh yeah, let's send our guys over there. We don't want them anymore because they're expanding the NHL.
Yeah, Dan, I think the big issue is it's kind of like truthfully, it's the same thing I've kind of said. Yeah, Demidov too. That's another one that was.
Yeah.
But like it's kind of like when I'm seeing people saying the UFL and the XFL are being so smart that they're expanding. And truthfully, I think it's the dumbest mistake they can possibly make because they don't have enough talent in those leagues to expand and make the teams watchable. Like Dan,
very
in all
successful
seriousness, Dan, if you were not a Leaf fan, would have you watched them last year? Like if you were just watching a hockey and it was the Leafs versus the Canucks, would have you watched it? As just
100%.
As a run-of-the-mill average fan, nothing crazy.
No, you wouldn't have, Dan. You're such a liar.
Dan, number one, Dan, you didn't even watch
that.
every Leaf game this year in general, even when
Unless
you were
you're
home,
a psycho.
because the Leafs were unwatchable. The New York Rangers versus the Vancouver Canucks. Would have you watched that game last year?
I just like watching random hockey games. That's why I like going NHL games.
Dan, I said as an average Joe everyday sports fan, are you watching the New York Rangers versus the Vancouver Canucks?
So Jacob, I will answer your question because I was an average Joe hockey fan last year. You'd even be lucky if I even watched like 5 games last year. And I'm being honest.
Dan, we have a new viewer here.
It might be
Actually, I don't think this is a new viewer now that
I think you've been here before. But welcome back.
Who gets
since we're talking about if there are any new viewers here, please subscribe to the channel. We hit 241 today. We're only 9 away from 250. So 250 is a huge magical number for YouTuber algorithms. So we'd love to hit 250 subscribers tonight. So, if you could hit the subscribe button, big help. We like the roundtable discussing, comments on the screen. And I want to thank all the loyal viewers who have been liking, commenting, and sharing, voting and polls. It helps the algorithm huge, meaning we can do more for all of you. So thank you, everyone.
Hey, wait, guys. If you guys could get us to 250 by the draft day, so by Friday, Dan's going to strip on air. Dan will strip on air.
No, he won't.
God,
if we hit 250 by the end of draft day, will you shave your beard live on the air?
Yes, I will.
I will
gladly do that. I do need to shave. I sincerely do need to shave, so I will shave.
There you go, guys. We need to get to 250 subscribers by the end of the draft. Adam can shave.
What are you at now?
241.
Do it right now?
Oh, 241.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm sexy.
You're at
sexy and I know it.
Wait, Dan, shut up for a second. I'm trying to listen to what.
No, I'm trying to find out. So if they're at 240, you only need 10.
241 right now.
Okay. Don't worry. I'll make that happen by Friday.
So if we get to 250, I will shave Friday before the end of the stream. If we get to it 250 by Friday, I will shave live on stream.
I will do guaranteed to happen by Friday.
I'll gladly. I need to shave clearly because it's getting long. I need to shave, so I will do it.
We had some comments about your beard last night, Adam.
Yeah, I'll shave.
You want to discuss the other sports big news that came out today?
Sure enough, rumors say we'll take less than because we have some interesting in the CFL today, so we can get into that. And the Ottawa REDBLACKS made some interesting roster moves. So they moved Dru Brown to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and then they agreed to terms with McLeod Bethel-Thompson.
I called it.
But hold on, there's more. So there's also a second round pick that goes with Dru Brown.
Yes.
For a first in 2027 and a second that could potentially turn into another first.
Wow.
If you can get, because with the first round in the draft, you can get freaking anyone. You can get 2 key players. So those 2 key players down the road could turn into better players than Dru Brown.
They could.
Because if Dru Brown's just going to be backup Winnipeg, any player that you select with those 2 picks is going to be better than Dru Brown.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
I will say this.
Even though McLeod Bethel-Thompson's 38, He's just there for mentorship. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Actually,
but
and Rick, that's where I disagree with you. I think he's there because Jake Maier might be losing his starting job to McLeod Bethel-Thompson. Ryan Dinwiddie and McLeod Bethel-Thompson, MBT's best years of football were with Ryan Dinwiddie.
correct.
And Ryan Dinwiddie, he must love the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle, because he loves to get players that he had in the past. And McLeod Bethel-Thompson is a guy under the right system who can be a really solid quarterback for the Ottawa REDBLACKS. And look, I think this just shows too that Dru Brown, there was never any interest in Dru Brown being the starter. I think that Ryan Dinwiddie made that very clear, especially with this trade. And look, I do wonder how Ottawa REDBLACK fans are feeling about, Jake Maier is probably your starter now for at least the next couple games as MBT gets comfortable. REDBLACKS are goated.
Here's the thing. This is a new viewer too, so welcome to the Analyst Desk. And if you like your comments up on the screen and like the roundtable discussion, please subscribe to the channel. We're at 241. We're trying to hit 250. And want to thank everyone who's commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing, voting in the polls. Is huge help to all of us. And yeah, this is a big move for the REDBLACKS. And I called it even before the season started that McLeod Bethel-Thompson will be going to the REDBLACKS because of that relationship with Ryan Dinwiddie. I am surprised that they gave up on Dru Brown so fast, though. I'm really surprised about that. But
I'm a new REDBLACKS fan.
Cool.
Ottawa. Well, welcome to that REDBLACKS fan.
We were just at the REDBLACKS game last week, actually, because we are located in Hamilton, and Rick and Jacob and I made 2 CFL games, Hamilton and BC,
in 24 hours.
REDBLACKS and Argos, 2 CFL games, and under 24 hours, 500 kilometers apart. So yeah, welcome to being a REDBLACKS fan.
And look, I will say for the Ottawa REDBLACKS, as much as they're 0-2, there are some things that I think they can try to build on. But bringing in McLeod Bethel-Thompson does bring some veteran experience, and it brings in a guy that Ryan Dinwiddie is comfortable with, right? I think that's going to be really important for Ryan Dinwiddie. Yeah, damn indeed. We did a lot of driving those days. And
I think Adam might need a shave soon because we just hit 4 new subscribers.
I do need to shave. Why do you think I bloody agreed to it? I do need to shave. This is gonna make me shave anyway.
Adam's gonna come on stream and just gonna be like it's gonna be all gone. He's just gonna have like a little baby face,
like me.
Well, no, I'm gonna shave on stream on Friday.
All game in Ottawa Valley. That would be cool.
Or do I shave before I come on?
No, you gotta do it on the stream.
Okay. That is
I did it on the screen. The Leafs got eliminated from the playoffs 2 years ago. Remember that, Jacob? I didn't even tell you. I was going to start doing it.
What did the GXP get from? So we did the 401 to the 416. Grand Prix was averaging about 10 liters to 100K. So not bad for a V8 that I was going a little too quick in. So
Nick got better fuel mileage than his Ford Focus for sure.
Yes, but under $200 in gas there and back. I'm not going to.
About 160.
Should we talk about the guy that drafted the NFL from Ottawa?
Ooh.
What guy from Ottawa?
I'm not quite sure who you're talking about. So put it in the comment section. And yeah, remember, guys, this hit the comment section for you as well. So you put your comments in. We talk about them live on the air. Man, that's perfect about you big boys in there. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. If it was Adam driving, you would have got even better fuel mileage.
We never talked about who gets knives on when we get Matthews.
Next time we rolled through, David, we rolled through Brockville at like 7 a.m. on the way there and like midnight on the way back.
Yeah, literally.
But next time we're up that way. I heard there was a guy from Ottawa that, okay, I will look this up.
I think I heard that too, actually. I just don't know Fatimo, the player, unfortunately.
You are such a liar. I do not believe you for a second that you heard that as well. This is the
I
first.
think I did.
Yes,
you didn't bring it up, though.
Okay.
What?
I will do my best to get this name right. Akeem Mizdor was born in Ottawa, played for West Virginia and Miami, was drafted 22nd overall in the first round by the LA Chargers.
Cool.
Oh, my team. He's going to play for a shit franchise, but you know
Best
what?
scenery. Ooh, okay. When there's not the
Ooh.
pit in Ottawa, I'd say Ottawa's got, but for me, at least what I've been to, the Red Blacks have the nicest backdrop. Hamilton backdrop is cool because, like, you're in a random housing development, and then there's just a big-ass football stadium.
The best part about the Hamilton is where I sit, and you look diagonally, you can see the flames from the stadium.
Yeah, I see now. That's sick.
And you might meet a crazy lady who's had a few too many drinks who wants to rub your stomach. You never know.
What?
That did happen. I gotta say, what?
I'm gonna say if you guys ever, because I've done
the C&E is a great backdrop too.
That's what I was just gonna say.
When it's there.
Winnipeg to Saskatchewan, all you're gonna say is flat land.
Yeah.
So if you were to ever lose your dog and your dog was to go off running, you could see them from like 100 miles away.
Well, that's good.
C&E.
I was going to say the C&E. That was going to be my answer to Toronto and C&E's on it. I love with Toronto have Lake Ontario, Billy Bishop Airport, and all that.
There was an interesting comment here. Bowen Byram to Chicago.
Oh, good question. I like the trade.
I don't actually, because I don't think this fixes your problem of Connor Bedard having nobody to play with.
Yeah, but it helps having a quarterback on your power play.
I don't think it helps. And I will say this. I will like the trade if Chicago does more. If this is all
they will do more,
then
this is not going to be the end.
I gotta say, though, I'm disappointed for Buffalo. I guess because Bowen Byram didn't want to stay there, but I actually feel bad. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually feel bad for Buffalo because for once in a decade, Buffalo didn't just make the playoffs. They won the division, and they were actually competitive in the playoffs. For once, they were actually building something. So I was really disappointed for Buffalo that one of our top players wanted to leave after building something.
Wait, no, but Dan, Byram requested a trade last summer. This has been
but he could also be
But Dan, this isn't something that just happened. Bowen Byram's been wanting out all year. Buffalo just refused to trade the guy. They wouldn't trade him.
I just feel bad for them. That's all.
Can't. No, screw Buffalo. I don't feel bad for any of these teams. Screw Ottawa with the Brady Tkachuk deal. Screw them. Whatever.
I would say Saru for the captain. I love
the captain. Sorry, I don't feel bad for any of these teams. If Matthews requested a trade from Toronto, I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's just trade him. He doesn't want to be here.
We do talk about the Ontario Hockey League on here as well.
What's there to feel bad for Buffalo? He didn't want to be there. Mm-hmm. They refused to trade him. They kept him on their roster this whole year. They knew he wanted to be gone. Why didn't they trade him last summer? They took
Sanderson.
This could have been dealt with last summer.
Anderson, that'll be a good pick.
And just for this comment here, we do talk OHL hockey at the Analyst Desk as well. We actually do talk CHL, which is kind of in the off season for the CHL, but we do talk a lot of junior leagues as well. Basically, what we like to do in a lot of these live shows is whatever you like, we do come on with like a target of what we're going to talk about. But if there's a topic that you guys specifically want to talk about, then bring it in the comment section and we'll do our best to talk about it, right? That's within PG-13 reasons. I want to bring that in. We have a very flavorful comment section.
I have a question for you.
There's something wrong some nights with our comment section.
I have a question for you, Leaf fans.
Okay.
So, I'm going to use a CFL reference.
Oh, it's a ballsy trade.
So, right now, as you guys can see, Hamilton is probably one of the unstoppable teams in the CFL right now.
Yes.
We haven't won the Grey Cup since 99.
I know.
When do you think that the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to step up their game and become one of the top teams in the NHL? I'm not saying next year. I'm saying, are you going to, do you think within the next 5 years?
I will say this, Wick. I think your Hamilton Tiger Cats will win the Grey Cup before the Maple Leafs make it to the third round.
You think so?
I do. I honestly think so. I think Hamilton's looking back good. And I think at Toronto, there's so many question marks. 1 minute you're selling Joseph Wall and some old Benoit. The next minute you're buying Wadis. So which one are you doing?
That wasn't a sell. That was a hockey trade. You traded 2 players that didn't fit on your team for 2 players that didn't fit on the other damn team.
So this is gonna get Dan rattled when I say this.
2056. I like that answer.
If Toronto goes
3 years.
If Toronto goes and gets rid of Morgan Riley, which rumors are out there that he's gonna get traded.
I'm hearing the Sharks.
What do you think that leaves for Nylander and Matthews?
Well, I'm going to be the crazy one.
Because obviously they had to have talks with the coaching staff and their plans in the offseason.
For sure.
So obviously, it's like, okay, well, those are going to be the top 2 players after Riley leaves. What's your plans moving forward?
To build around those
upcoming next years.
I'm going to be
the plan is to get so like I think the Darren Radish trade is exactly tells you what the plan is. It's to be aggressive, get the best players you can, and to build a really good hockey team. Isn't like that seems fairly obvious. Darren Radish may not be an amazing player next year, but he is somebody that this team needs. The goal should be to fix the issues. The issue is defense is too old. Well, like Darren Radish is 30, but still, he's relatively young compared to the rest of our defense. So our defense can't pass. Our defense can't skate. Darren Radish can skate and he can pass. Simple solution right there. There you go. Like in our offense, there's no depth. Well, you got Easton Cowan coming through. You got other young guys that are playing, or youngish guys that are playing with the Marlies who can come up next year. You got potentially Gavin McKenna or Stenberg. You got potentially more. The point is to build better depth. The issue was we were too high. We were too heavy up front. That was basically Mitch Marner being gone helps that, I think. John Tavares taking less money helps that so we can build a better team. The cap going up helps that. And if we can get rid of Morgan Riley, that's $7 million more that's in the budget for this summer. The team just needs to building depth. It will take, but like if we could show that we can be more competitive, the team, Austin Matthews will stay. In 2 years' time, hopefully the team is more competitive, top heavy. That's exactly what I said. I said they were top heavy. But the team just needs to figure out how to build a better team, how to build more depth, how to just be better at the end of the day. I know it's easier said than done, but the team just needs to build better depth, and hopefully they can figure things out and build a better team this time around.
I'm going to be the crazy one in the room here. And I think, I know. And I think they keep Morgan Riley. I think Morgan Riley stays as a Maple Leaf because he's a longer serving Leaf. And you look at the guy who's running his show now, Matt Sundin. He's a very long-serving Maple Leaf as well. So I think he's going to give Morgan Riley some respect. I know he had a little off year last year. He still had 11 goals. And now you have Wadis as a great partner to play with him. So you have Morgan Riley and Wadis. You have Chris Tanev and McCabe because Tanev's fully healthy. And then you have to figure out your 4th and 5th defensemen. But
Dan, you are the only one wearing a hat.
That's why. Well, you know why I have to wear a hat. I got nothing left here. But anyway, I see all the hot air comes out and melts my hair.
Dan, apparently you can't read and write on a wall.
The writing on the wall.
No, I'm not very. I can't read the writing on the wall at all. I totally agree with that.
I will say this. Look, I will say this though. Morgan Riley will be dealt. It's to the San Jose Sharks, and I know Adam got rattled when I said it. I still think it's for Michael Misa and a 3rd round pick. That's what I think the trade is.
I'll gladly take Michael Misa. I love Michael Misa. Michael Misa's from Oakville, Ontario. Mm-hmm. He is from where I live. I think the kid is exceptionally talented. The reason I got mad was because that trade, I still don't think that trade is what San Jose needs. Jacob, I know you're going to continue to argue that Morgan Riley is exactly what they need.
Leafs to buy the cup.
What San Jose now have two top 10 picks. They do not need Morgan Riley.
We have another new viewer here.
They don't need Mo.
So welcome.
I don't think they do.
To the Analyst Desk. If you're new here, you like all the comments on your screen, round table discussing, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 250 subscribers tonight. We're at 246 at the moment. So only 4 subscribers away. And that helps new people like you find us. So we talk NHL, CFL, OJHL, OHL, all kinds of cool stuff. AHL, a lot of that stuff too. Video game simulations coming up, all kinds of cool stuff. And the more algorithm, the more we can do for you. And thank you so much, all the loyal commenters and viewers. A lot of great comments coming in tonight. And everyone could like, subscribe, share, vote in the poll. All helps a lot so we can do more for all of you. So thank you, everyone.
I have a question for Adam and Dan, or Adam and Jacob. So right now, looking at the line combos right now, you have Nyes with Matthews and Cowan, Maxelli, Tavares, and Nylander. When you go and draft Gavin McKenna, do you play him third line center or do you play him second line?
He's not playing center. He hasn't played center in I don't know how many years. He's playing wing. He's going to get drafted as a winger, and he's going to play winger. He's not going to play center firstly. Honestly, I know what people want, but if I'm being honest, I kind of like a potential McKenna, Tavares, and Nylander line. You're talking about I think that would be a pretty cool line because I think Cowan, Nyes, and Matthews would be an awesome line. I totally agree. Honestly, I would love to see it. But I do think more realistically, McKenna switches probably with Cowan.
McKenna on the top line. Ooh, that'd be interesting.
I have a very hard take for Gavin McKenna.
I would put Cowan and Nyes.
I think Gavin McKenna is not going to be great in the NHL to start. I will not be shocked if after your first 10 games-ish, he's down in the AHL. Just to give him a runway to get used to playing the next level, because you got to remember with Gavin McKenna, and I know he's extremely talented, but he is not a Macklin Celebrini extremely talented. He's not a Matthew Schaefer extremely talented. And I think it's going to take him some time to get used to playing another level of hockey, because he went from the CHL to college. It took him a bit of an adjustment period. And people gave me a lot of flack when I said this before. I think Gavin McKenna will need another adjustment period. You don't draft someone to try to make you a cup contender. You draft the best player available to make your team better 3 years down the road. Gavin McKenna or Ivan Stenberg are both very talented guys, but neither one is making this Leaf team this Leaf team a playoff team. I do want to address a comment quickly.
Jacob,
there was a comment about Bobrovsky potentially going to Ottawa. I think Ottawa is very happy with Almar being their goalie. I think he proved that in the playoffs this year. Ottawa's not going for another top goaltender. Go ahead, Adam.
So I don't know where the Bobrovsky to Ottawa rumors started. I've seen Bobrovsky.
This is in the comment section.
No. So, okay. So then my other thing is that, Jacob, I'm going to tell you this. McKenna may need to go down to the AHL, but he won't, because the Leafs can't send him down to the AHL. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. You know exactly what the reason I'm going to give.
But I'm saying they should.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The same reason why they're going to draft McKenna instead of Stenberg. It's because if they do the opposite, they're going to get torched for it. The Leafs are basically screwed whether they draft McKenna or whether they keep McKenna in the AHL or not. They're screwed either way because people are going to criticize them no matter what they do. And at the end of the day, McKenna's probably, to get adjusted. I keep saying this. I said this about Alexei Lafreniere. He played third line minutes his rookie year. That did not help his development at all.
No.
McKenna, you say Jacob McKenna's little adjustment period in the NCAA. He was a point per game guy in the NCAA the first half of the season. If that's his adjustment period, that's a pretty good adjustment period.
But if you watch the games, he was not playing well. He was getting points, but he wasn't playing great.
Jacob.
Yeah.
I never said he played well. I said he had a point per game pace. That's all I said.
Just adding context.
And I will. Okay, yeah, but I don't really care about that because I never said he did play well. You're adding context when I didn't bring that up at all. But McKenna will play in the NHL. Whether he should or not is up for discussion at the end of the day. If that's best for his development or not. Because guess what? franchises shouldn't be deciding how they run their team or how they decide where a player gets from fans or from media, because that what ends up ruining prospects at the end of the day.
Well, the only thing I will say though is you say that the Leafs are going to fall to pressure.
They will.
But okay, hold on. Everyone also said they weren't going to hire Shakeup because of pressure. Everyone said they weren't going to hire Hiller because of pressure. Well, they did it anyways. This, for the first time in a long time, I think the Leafs are just doing whatever the hell they want, whether people agree with it or not. I've actually liked what John Chechia has done so far. So far, he has been very good. He has made trades that make sense. He has gone for the big fish, and he's not letting the media dictate what he's going to do. How he's not even telling the media what he's doing. And I'm even someone who works in the media, I have no problem with it. So look, at the end of the day, I don't know if the Leafs will. Like, from what I've heard, they're going to draft McKenna, but I think it's just because they feel he has the most potential and he's the best overall player available. And for people who are saying Morgan Rielly doesn't fit San Jose's timeline, well, number one, San Jose has been making calls to Morgan Rielly for the last year and a half. Yeah, number two, San Jose is in desperate need for a puck-moving defenseman. And Morgan Rielly is probably the best one available. You guys can craft Morgan Rielly.
I think the Leafs are making a mistake getting rid of him. What do we do?
Name me a better puck-moving defenseman who's available right now.
You can't.
And there's none. So the price of Morgan Rielly, because Darren Radish has already been traded for and signed, just went up.
Keep Morgan Rielly.
They're not keeping more. I think Rielly wants out, and I don't even blame him.
With the contract, they can't afford to keep him, I think, at this point. I love Morgan Rielly, but I feel like he needs – it's not that the Leafs – it's not that he sucks or anything. It's just that he needs to be somewhere else. He needs to be somewhere else.
I actually do think
I agree Stenberg's a better player. I
think McKenna might have more potential. I would still draft Stenberg. No, hold on, Dan. But McKenna is more of a raw talent that you haven't seen what he is yet. Yes, he is, Dan. You can shake your head all you want. I don't really care that he acted like a baby during the World Juniors. To me, that doesn't affect it. He's a kid.
My opinion.
I'm expecting a kid to do. Dan, when you were 18, were you smart or were you an idiot?
Oh, it's dumb, stupid,
Exactly.
Yeah, so what's the difference?
I'm not going to judge what he did as a stupid 18-year-old. We can all.
Rick it's nothing to do with the off-ice drama. I'm talking on ice. On ice, Stenberg is and will be the better NHL player.
He's better now, but the $1 million question is, and better is subjective, right? Like if you ask Dan in their prime, who's better, Ovechkin or Barkov? Dan will say Ovechkin. I would say Barkov. Better is subjective, right?
Depends what you want out of a player. Depends what you want out of a player.
Like, Dan, you would say, right, out if they were both in their prime, you would tell me Ovechkin is better than Barkov, correct?
1,000%.
And I would tell you you're an idiot. Barkov is a better all-around player than Ovechkin.
Well, thanks for calling me an idiot. That's very nice of you.
You're welcome.
Nothing new.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing new.
Got to play and shop. I don't know how many teams are going to want Dakota Joshua. That was a bad contract, but I think you're stuck with him.
I like him, actually.
Got Kesserling. If they get a top defenseman 9 pick, that's a win. One thing's for sure, Stenberg will be a Shark. Yeah, I think he'll be a perfect.
Oh, interesting. I like Kesserling.
San Jose is going to be really excited. Or does San Jose draft the defenseman that they feel they need? That is the $1 million question.
But they got Kesserling, right?
Well, no, but they're going to draft another defense. I would think, well, they could have Smits, the Latvian guy, at 9. I also want to point out, guys, the Ruck twins Canucks have another first-round pick, I think now. They have like 4 first-round picks or something like that.
Blues
the Ruck twins have both are both going to North Dakota, not this season, but the season after. Mm-hmm. So both at 19, they're going to go play in the NCAA. So after this upcoming season, they're going to the NCAA for whatever reason. I don't know why they're waiting another year to go to the NCAA, but they are.
Damn, this is an interesting point. Ovi without Backstrom.
That is a good point. Yeah,
that's what I mean when you talk about better. It's so subjective.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Adam, I don't know if you know, but the NCAA passed a rule today that there's no more red shirts.
I know.
5 years as of your 19th birthday, and then that's it.
No, well, it's 19th birthday.
That can be it too.
Well, it's actually 19th birthday or when you graduate from high school, whichever one comes first.
Yeah, so maybe that's
so if you're 19 and you go into the NCAA, you have 5 years of eligibility. It's the stupidest. I flip and hate the rule so much.
Well, it stops from people trying to do.
Yeah, but it's only good for football. That's the only sport it's good for. It's going to screw up every other sport, which is exactly the NCAA doesn't care about any other sport but football anyway. So what difference does it make?
Football is what makes all the money, right? So
yeah,
I mean, they're not doing it in college football either. They changed that today too.
But
it's all fucking stupid.
McKenna
it's all stupid.
Kucherov, yeah, I mean,
well, nobody said he was. Who said he was?
Be better than Marner, and they say it's a win.
You're the only one bringing it up.
I don't really look. Honestly, I don't know why everyone keeps comparing to McKenna. Putting McKenna to a Marner as an expectation isn't realistic to start, and that's an expectation that's setting the kid up to fail.
I agree with
McKenna
that.
needs to go.
Just because one played for London,
you know who Gavin McKenna needs to be? Gavin McKenna.
I actually think. Wait, so I want to answer a question here. Isadora, I actually. Oh wait, no. So this question was the one I wanted to answer. I think you can make the argument that due to Mike Bossy's career ending so early, I think you can make an argument that him or even Brett Hall is the greatest. They don't have the record. I'm gonna say this. They don't have the record, but I think you can make an argument, especially with Mike Bossy, because he only played for such little time.
Mike Bossy's really underrated.
Yeah, but you could say I think you can make the argument that Mike Bossy might be the greatest goal scorer in NHL history, given he didn't play that long. He only played 10 seasons. He didn't play enough. If he played longer, what's to say he didn't set the NHL scoring record? He played less seasons than Ovi has. What's to say? I think you can make an argument that Mike Bossy might be as well.
Yeah,
I don't see him put in, but I feel like you could make the argument.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mike Bossy is I feel like Mike Bossy's a really underrated player, and he's only known as from real hockey fans and New York Islander fans. He's not on the list of Gretzky and Lemieux just because of injury stuff. They only played the 10 seasons, but boy,
Ovechkin 21 seasons, failed to advance past second round 20 times. Yeah, I
know. Yeah, I know.
Yes, I agree with the percentage of greatest goal scorers. Ovechkin's number one in my opinion. His longevity is absolutely insane.
Because Bossy, let me read out your Bossy stats. I'm gonna read to you guys Bossy stats and tell me if you don't think this guy could have smashed the NHL goal scoring record. So he had 53 his rookie year. So he had 53. He then went on to have 53, 69, 51, 68, 64, 60, 51, 58, 61, and then in his last season, which was cut short, he had 38 goals in 63 games, and he only played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he had 573 games in 752 games. He could have absolutely obliterated the record if he played 10 more seasons. Even maybe
I agree with that.
573 goals in 752 games. Imagine he played over 1,000 games. This guy was this guy is way underrated for a guy who went and scored. And if he played a full season, he played over 70 games, he was guaranteed over 50 goals.
That's right.
Now,
guaranteed 50 goals.
Here's the other interesting thing, and I'm going to throw in another twist. Is Gordie Howe the greatest professional hockey player, professional goal scorer? Because between the NHL and the WHL, he has 1,071 goals. More goals than Alexander Ovechkin has between the NHL. So in theory, you can argue that by a professional league to an NHL standard, Gordie Howe is the greatest goal scorer of all time.
Yeah.
Now, technically, I don't know if you guys know this. Now, technically, the greatest goal scorer, the most goals scored by a professional hockey player. Now, most people don't count this because it was not in the NHL or WHA. Was Tony Hand. And Tony Hand had 1,081 goals in a long career in the British Professional Hockey League. So he is technically the greatest goal scorer in professional hockey. Now,
technically, Jaromir Jagr is the greatest point scorer in hockey history because Jaromir Jagr across every league he has played has more points than Wayne Gretzky. But does that count? No, not really.
Look at the Muse stats are crazy.
The WHA was so Gordie Howe would have crushed that record if he stayed in the NHL.
Probably.
Mario Lemieux, 915 games, 690, 1,033, 1723 points. Not just goal score if you only focused on scoring. Oh, I mean, very, very true, right? But an absolutely rip Mr. Hockey. Mr.
And
Hockey.
rip Mike Bossy.
Yeah, sad he died too.
He's the original Barkov. The Rocket Boys, 9 times 50 goal scorer. Yeah, you really wonder if Gordie Howe, if he decided to play in the NHL his whole career, he would have been the greatest goal scorer of all time. If Jaromir Jagr played in the NHL his whole career, he would have been probably the greatest point. No, I would have the highest points of all time. But you need to look at the era, 100%. Because it was easier to score goals back then than it is now. Because although actually goaltending now is declining.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Ovechkin's stat line is also crazy.
Yeah. I still personally think Ovechkin because he's been so consistent for over 20 years. And not just goal scoring, but he's so physical. He throws the giant hits. I mean, to have like the shot that he has at 40 and have the speed he has at 40, to me is still incredible.
Talking about
Mike
Bossy.
Yeah.
Talking about Mike Bossy, he had scored. How many goals do you guys think he scored in the Q across his career in the Q when he played there?
Probably an insane number.
200?
Nope. You're actually relatively close. Relatively. Jacob, don't go looking it up. I swear you're looking it up. I don't believe you.
He's typing something somewhere. He's not looking it up. He's probably telling me off in the private chat. Dan, don't say
I am not.
Ooh.
I'm going to guess at least
Dan, do you have a guess?
I said 200.
Yeah, you said, okay. Rick, do you have a guess? Wait, Jacob, did you say 300?
300.
Okay. Rick, what's your guess? Wait, can't hear you, Rick. Your mic's muted.
195.
Nope, 309. 309.
I was going over. I'm next.
Disgusting.
No, so what I was looking up was actually the top 10 NHL career goals per game. And Mike Bossy actually had the highest goals per game at 0.762 goals per game.
Right.
Ovechkin is actually 8th on this list all time. Now, mind you, there's a lot of guys that are still currently playing, and you don't know what that'll go. Like Kaprizov is 10th. Brett Hall's 9th. I know he's not playing anymore. Austin Matthews is 6th. Pavel Bure is 5th. Mario Lemieux is 2nd. So actually, by goals per game statistic, Mike Bossy is the greatest goal scorer of all.
Yeah, he is. That's what I said earlier. Okay, but I have a question for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to give you
Fun Fish.
I'm going to give you for you, Fun Fish. I'm going to give you guys the category here because I got to be very specific because Dan and Jacob are going to fail to listen to me 100%. and actually not listen to what I'm saying and give a stupid answer. Okay. This is I want you guys to guess who the all-time goal scorer leader in all levels includes the NHL, WHA, KHL, European Pro Leagues, minor pro, junior, international playoff exhibitions where documented. This is documented and verified totals. Who is one? I have the top 7 here. I want you guys to try and guess what even their totals are, if you guys can.
Oh, God.
This is going to be insane. This is going to be a hard list. The totals is going to be what's hard, I think.
I'll say like
across all of them?
So, yeah. So, across all the leagues I basically just mentioned. Any level, all levels.
I would say you
can guess the players, not the totals, just the players.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to spit out. I would say Kovachuk's on this list.
Kovachuk is not in the top 7. He's not in the list I have. He's probably up there, but he's not.
Mario Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux is not here. Mind you, he is not here. He is not on the top 7. He's not on my list that I have.
Karen's.
Okay.
Dealing with
if
Karen's.
Mario's not on there, Gretzky has to be on there.
Gretzky is 2. He had
yeah,
1,072 career goals across the
I'm gonna
NHL,
get Jaromir
WHA, and
Jagr.
juniors.
Yeah, I
Jaromir
see this
Jagr.
comment.
Okay, where is Jagr?
I'm gonna say 4.
Number one.
Okay, Dan, Jacob, what did you say?
4.
You're way off, Jacob.
I
because
say
Dan
1.
is right. Jaromir
Yes.
Jagr has 1,900 plus career goals in his career so far.
So,
So you got the
Jacob,
top 2.
you said what
That's
spot?
all you have. All you have is the top 2.
Alex McGillney.
Nope. And Jacob and Dan, I'm going to give this away to you. I'm actually quite disappointed you haven't named one of these guys yet. Quite disappointed in you specifically, Dan.
Bobby Hall.
Bobby Hall. No, Dan, I'm going to wait until you guess this, and nobody else I'm not going to give this answer away until Dan guesses it.
Peter
So Rick and
Forsberg.
Jacob, you're not allowed to answer yet. Dan is the only one allowed to answer right now.
Peter
I'm not gonna give any
Forsberg.
answers away.
Peter
No?
Forsberg.
Nope. Dan, you're missing one guy that I'm gonna lose my mind at you.
Alex Ovechkin.
Dan, took you flipping 5 guesses to guess the guy you consider the greatest goal scorer ever.
I love him.
He's 3 on the list with 1,000 career goals across all levels.
That's awesome.
So Dan, I am so disappointed in you.
Well, let's try not to be biased.
So disappointed in you, Dan.
You know what gets me though is you see a lot of people in Europe, like even like the Swedish league, like they don't get many points in the Swedish league
Yeah.
as you may say in like the WHL or like the NHL.
That's a good
Okay,
point.
keep going, guys. Keep with the guesses going.
Teemu Selanne.
No. You're going off track, I think, a little bit. I think you guys are going in the wrong
Well, I'm
kind
gonna
of
guess
direction.
Gordie Howe.
Marion
Yeah,
Gaborik.
4. Not Marion Gaborik. That's going completely the wrong
Bossy.
direction. Nope, not Bossy, because Bossy didn't play enough. Yeah, that's why he's not here. It's because he didn't play enough.
Kaprizov.
No, and I'm already fearing that
I
you guys
just
are not going to get
want
any
to say, as far as years go, we're going at least 1950s.
Like this is documented, so it's not.
Okay.
Don't go too far back. Don't go too far.
No. That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah. If Gordie Howe's here, it's because his totals were documented, and he played a while ago. He played very long.
Okay, this is not including goalies, correct?
Not
Only
including
defensemen
you?
and forwards.
It's only forwards. The other 3 guys are all forwards.
Okay, so it's only forwards. Okay.
Pavel Bure.
No. I'm surprised you guys haven't guessed at least one of these guys.
Steve Eisenman.
No.
Peter
So
Bondra?
surprised. No.
Teemu Selanne.
I said that already.
No.
Sidney
Oh,
Crosby.
did you get guess in the chat?
Roger Matthews got one right. That's Phil Esposito, which I'm guessing. I was assuming you are because his brother's a goalie. He has 850 plus career goals. He's 7.
Nice pick.
2 more to go.
Sidney
I want to give
Crosby.
you guys a hint, but this is going to give it away if I give the
Sidney
hint.
Crosby's
Sidney
good.
Crosby.
Avatar.
No.
No, this is my headshot. That's my headshot from like
So, Adam, you heard my
2019.
answer, right?
Pardon me, what's your answer?
I said Sidney Crosby.
No. No.
Sergei Fedorov.
No.
Pavel Dagsut.
Dan, Jacob, that is honestly a terrible guess. I'm not going to lie. That
Zetterberg.
might
Played in the
be,
KHL for a while.
that's
too.
another bad guess. Not going to
You're
lie.
a bad guess.
You guys are not thinking of the right
Brett Hall.
player. Okay,
Brett Hall.
Brett Hall took way too long as well. You guys were not thinking of the right kind of players. You guys are not thinking of the right kind of players with your guesses so far. There's a specific Brett
Sergei
Hall
Never
is
put Hall in
Savard?
comments.
he's 5. Wait, what did you say, Rick?
Serve Savard, or I can't remember.
Oh no. So I don't think you guys
No?
are gonna get him because I don't think
Oh,
he's
Henderson.
I don't think you guys are gonna think of him as maybe a goal
Oh,
scorer.
Dave
That's not-
Vanderchuk. Dave
No.
Vanderchuk.
I don't know what you guys are gonna think.
Hey, sorry,
Okay.
Jimmy, you said that a bit ago. I think sometimes comments don't
Rocket
always come
Richard.
through right away.
Oh, I didn't see you say Brett Hall. That's my bad. I didn't see you say that. That's
And
my
sometimes
bad.
the comments don't always come through right away. Yeah, like for some
Rocket
reason now,
Richard.
a bunch of your comments are just coming through now about Lemieux and Bossy. Sorry, a bunch of comments just always unpopulated in here. I think it was glitching a little bit.
Way Ferraro.
So I already saw the last answer in the comments, but I'm not going to say it just yet until Jacob brings it up.
Rocket Richard.
No.
Paul
Matt
Korea.
Sundin.
No. You guys are
Paul
thinking
Korea.
you guys are thinking of the wrong players. You guys are thinking of the wrong players. You guys might not think of him really as a goal scorer, even though he kind of was. Because of where he is in terms of a certain category.
Way Ferraro.
No,
Korea.
not Ray Ferraro. I saw the answer. Jacob just hasn't got to it yet.
So are we?
There you go. It's Marcel Dion.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I don't even know.
Wait,
I'm not even gonna say it.
he's
I'm not
sixth
gonna say
all
it.
times in goals. He is sixth.
I
all
wouldn't
time
even
in
have
goals.
known to say Dion.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun fish to answer this
Sound like
question.
a fool
Bowen
and say, I don't
Byram.
even know who he is.
Bowen Byram has wanted out of Buffalo for the last 2 years. Buffalo just finally
Yeah.
pulled the trigger.
I'm just surprised they still wanted it out after they made a cup one.
Unfortunately, Funfish Lane is not streaming the Canada game tomorrow because he has to work. Actually, all of us have to work tomorrow. So, unfortunately,
Jacob,
we will not be
do I
streaming the
have to
Canada
work
game.
tomorrow? Jacob, do I have to work
Funfish is like
tomorrow?
Rick smiling.
Stub your toe, Adam.
He's definitely plotting something.
No, because I already got a toe that's a
Go in the
different
toilet.
stuff.
What?
So
No, I don't think.
I stubbed my toe. Oh my god! I swear none of you listen. Dan, and Jacob don't.
You
listen.
freezed on my
You
end.
froze, Adam. That's what happened.
Oh, stub toe. I stubbed my toe and it's infected.
Oh.
It's really disgusting.
So it's a good reason to call sick for work.
But on
yeah,
that
but it doesn't hurt.
on that bombshell, we can all think about Adam's toe.
Don't do that.
And Byram hates buffalo wings. I hope, man, buffalo wings are delicious. They're not nutritious. Rick has disappeared looking for his pink cup. Now he's back.
Nope. My pink
And on
cup's
that
empty.
bombshell, I think it's time that we wrap up the show for the evening. We got to talk about the NHL Trade Frenzy.
Before we do, Jacob, what do we have for subscriber numbers so Adam can shave his face Friday
We're up to
night?
246.
To 246, yeah.
Oh, we're
Need 4 more.
close.
And Mike
Well,
Babcock to
It's gonna
Edmonton.
happen overnight. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen
It
overnight.
is. It
You know what?
probably is.
Before we go, then let's quickly dive into the Mike Babcock situation. So Mike Babcock, I watched a bit of his presser, and according to Mike Babcock, he did nothing wrong in Columbus, and he left because his wife suggested it.
His wife had a headache?
No, his
No,
wife
his
wanted
wife
him to leave.
suggested
His wife suggested that he
he-
leaves.
Why? No one likes Columbus. I get that.
Honestly, I think this is going to be a complete disaster in Edmonton. I think the Oilers
I
are
do
just going to go
too.
from bad to worse. And I am going to say this: the Edmonton Oilers will miss the playoffs this season.
I will say
They
I
will
give
not make the playoffs.
McDavid credit for being so desperate to win. He's trying to do anything. My hiccup with McDavid is when he says he wants a hard-ass coach for his team, is he including himself as a part of the problem? Because I think he's thinking, maybe I'm wrong, but I think he's thinking it's like, oh, I need someone like Mike Babcock to yell and scream and bully my teammates to play better. But what McDavid himself, not that he's played bad, but he needs to play better to get over the extra hump. So if he includes himself in playing better, I can respect it. If he just wants someone to yell at his teammates, Fast one as a leader, in my opinion.
Yeah, I honestly just don't think Babcock's the answer. If you want a hard ass coach, just go get Tortorella.
Yeah.
That would have made
100%.
perfect sense.
Oh my lord.
McDavid needs to be next to being the Dan Mario of hockey. Babcock might push. Okay, Babcock will do one of two things. Edmonton's either going to be great or terrible, and I think it's not going to work. I don't think coaching was the problem at Edmonton. I think it's the overall structure of the team. There's no depth.
Yeah.
And Mike Babcock isn't going to all of a sudden make the team deep, right? They still don't have goaltending. They have mediocre defense, and their bottom six should be in the AHL.
Yes.
Like, realistically, this team is not that good. And McDavid and Draisaitl and Hyman and Nugent Hopkins have kind of pushed this team over the edge sometimes. But you're seeing the trend that you need more than just one or two top players to really go on a run. And I just don't think Mike Babcock's the answer. I think John Tortorella might have been the answer. He's a good short-term coach. Yeah. Look what he did in Vegas, how he turned that whole team around.
Exactly.
I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but I don't think
I totally agree.
I don't think Mike Babcock fixes the Oilers.
Totally agree.
Rick, your mic's muted. I just saw your lips moving. You're like a bad ventriloquist. What do you think, Adam? Do you think Mike Babcock fixes the Oilers?
Why would he?
Well,
honestly, like I said this, and I think Mike Babcock had been a phenomenal coach, but this Oilers team is not as deep as his Red Wings teams were. No. Wasn't as deep as when he coached Anaheim. He's walking into a situation that he's never been in. He's not walking into a situation where he's deep in anywhere in the team. Outside of three or four players, this team is shit. It's shit. Yeah. You can't tell me it's not. This Oilers team is shit. It just is. As currently constructed, it's shit. Their GM is shit. Sorry, Mike Babcock hasn't coached in the NHL in 7 years. The dude has not coached an NHL game in close to a decade, and he's going to try and win a Stanley Cup with Connor McDavid.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be. I think people are overrating how good Mike Babcock is going to be as a coach for the Edmonton Oilers. It's not going to change anything. This team is crap. It's not like nothing Mike Babcock does is going to change it. Honestly, I don't even think Mike Babcock is going to last this season. I'd be surprised if Babs lasts the season.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He won't last. He won't last longer. He won't last his contract.
I see this comment that they've gone to the finals in 2 of the last 3 years, but this team is not as good as what they were 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
No,
this other team has gotten worse, and it's difficult. It's going to be tough in free agency, I think, to find players who want to play for Mike Babcock.
Yeah, but too.
That's going to be a struggle. So if you're Edmonton, you better hope the problem was coaching, because if it's not, which I don't think it is, I think it's the way the roster was constructed. And even when they made it to the finals, they're in such a weak division, and then they got clobbered by Florida. Like it's not like it was a good finals. They got destroyed by the Florida Panthers both times they got in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's tough for me to say. Simon McDavid's in the Huddle League and Bobby Holden. Yeah, there you go. Or should I say Pink Pony Club, aka Rick? Rick's in the Pink Cup Club.
That's what he just said.
I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Puck Club.
20
million in place for
and Jacob. When you guys get a moment, check the Instagram group chat. You guys will just see a nice video that will put you guys to sleep.
Awesome.
Speaking of sleep, you know what?
I'm worried.
I love our comments. I love our viewers. I want Adam to shave, so we got to get to 250 subscribers.
What's up with the happiness getting me to shave? I don't look any different.
It is time we call it a night. I want to thank everyone.
Oh,
what the hell happened to Jacob?
Left us. So
okay, but this isn't good because none of us can end this show.
I don't know how.
Okay, so I have buttons on my mouse that you can go back a page, and I've accidentally hit it. I want to thank everyone for joining us at the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to the channel. Check out the shorts. If you want more lifestyle shorts, let us know. I'd love to make Dan try weird food. I think we'll make the greatest content ever.
Yes.
Andy.
In our poll,
can I be there when he does it?
Which
I want to be there when he does it.
Craziest trade in the NHL over the last week. Brady Tkachuk trade is leading with 48%. Kyrou to the Capitals at 14%. Eklund to the Senators at 19%. And Nemec to the Flames at 19%. So thank you, everyone, for joining us at the Analyst Desk. Every day feels like game day. Thank you for voting in the poll. And we'll be back later in the week to break down the CFL coverage. Plus, we're going to have some coverage of the NHL Draft and some coverage of the CFL games on the weekend. So make sure you stay locked in on the Analyst Desk. If you want to know when we're going live, we posted almost every time on our Facebook page. So give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram, and then you'll know when the shows are coming up.
And TikTok.
A couple more comments to get through, and then we're going to call it a night here. They have a better coach than when they went to the finals. I still don't think the coach was the issue. And Babcock is only one with great teams. I've never seen him do it with a mediocre team, and the Oilers are mediocre. That's my opinion, at least. Adam is like Dylan Cease before he shaved. I bet Adam wish he has Dylan Cease money.
I really don't know what that even means.
McDavid will sign in Toronto for 18. I doubt
Wow. It'd be crazy.
Ottawa were a better team with Okachuk this season. Yeah, it's not that's true. I think getting Eklund, I think Eklund's going to be a killer.
Great trade. I love that trade.
And Ottawa. Have a good night, fun fish. Oilers final in 4. Yeah, they'll get swept in the final if they get there in 4 games by Florida again. That'll be hilarious.
Ooh.
Thank you very much for joining us at the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show. It's the Analyst Desk. Yeah, in case you didn't know, it's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show where every day feels like game day, bro.